Don't do it. Don't do the backdoor Roth IRA. Hi, this is Sean Mullaney, financial planner. Let's discuss. Sean, I've been on your blog. I thought you loved the backdoor Roth IRA. You've written extensively about it. It's on your Twitter. What are you talking about? All right, backdoor Roth IRA, I think it's a great tax tactic. What it does is it moves money from taxable accounts to Roth accounts. Great tactic, not hard to implement at all. And why not get money into Roth accounts if we can, especially if the alternative is investing through a taxable brokerage? But here's the thing. There are three categories of folks who really should not be doing backdoor Roth IRAs in most circumstances. The first one is the main one, and that's folks who have old 401k or 403b, 457 rollovers into traditional IRAs. There are many Americans who are sitting on traditional IRAs because, look, folks change jobs. They're like, hey, I left job A, I go to job B, and at job A, I had a $50,000 401k. I don't like their old 401k. I want to go to a financial institution that I like. So I'm just going to do a direct trustee to trustee transfer of my old 401k to a IRA. That's perfectly legitimate. That's a perfectly legitimate financial planning tactic. It works out well for many Americans. But here's the thing. If you do that tactic, doing the backdoor Roth IRA does not work with that particular tactic. And it's because of something referred to as the Prorata Rule. What this rule says is if we do the Roth conversion step of a backdoor Roth IRA, what we have to do is on December 31st, we have to look at the amount we converted to the Roth IRA during the year and all our other traditional IRA balances. And we add that all up together, and we have to say, okay, we converted, say, $6,000 in our backdoor Roth, but at the end of the year, the $6,000 plus the $50,000 in our rollover IRA, that all gets smushed together, and we only get to recover a proportionate amount of that basis we created in the first step, that non-deductible IRA step. So for those with traditional IRAs, generally rollovers from 401ks, 403bs, 457s, what happens is when you do that backdoor Roth IRA, it turns out a lot of it is taxable. That's not really efficient tax planning for most Americans. So that's the first category. Folks who already have traditional IRAs because of rollovers from 401ks most likely should not be doing the backdoor Roth. Second category, those who are thinking about doing a 401k to Roth to traditional IRA rollover, right? Maybe it's the middle of the year, you're thinking, hey, I'm going to go to a new job and I'm going to leave my old job and I think I'll just roll over the old 401k into a traditional IRA. Like I said, not a terrible thing to do. But if you already did the backdoor Roth IRA back in January and February, that could have some bad consequences when you do the 401k rollover. The 401k rollover into the traditional IRA, no problem. That by itself is not taxable, but it invokes that Prorata Rule, and it's going to essentially taint that old backdoor Roth IRA from January or February. So if you're thinking about doing a 401k to traditional IRA rollover, you want to think long and hard, and maybe you have to wait to the next year, or maybe you try to do a rollover 401k to new 401k, right? These are some planning techniques that could be considered to help facilitate the backdoor Roth. The third category are those who work for employers that offer a SEP IRA retirement plan or a simple IRA retirement plan. These are generally smaller employers. They have a smaller amount of employees, and they want to offer a retirement plan. And so maybe they have a SEP IRA or a simple IRA. There's nothing wrong with those plans. But here's the thing. They do factor into that Prorata Rule I talked about earlier. So if you have a simple IRA or a SEP IRA, the backdoor Roth IRA is probably not going to be the tax tactic you should employ. A couple things just to remember, though. The backdoor Roth is just a tactic. There are many different ways to achieve financial independence, to get to retirement, whatever your financial goals are. Yes, it's always nice to be able to do a backdoor Roth, but it's okay if for whatever reason it's just not available because you're in one of those three categories I described. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.